Okay, are you ready for Q&A 4? Go!
What tools and clay do you use for stop motion? I want to start making stop motion videos of my own. I think the kind of clay they were talking about was plasticine, which actually never hardens. The kind of clay I have for things like that is Van Aken Claytoon clay, which also doesn't harden. And then just a simple set of sculpting tools would work. Cranbersher, will you do more behind the scenes videos? It's pretty interesting how you make your animations and I would like to see more. Actually, yeah. I plan to make them more structured and more informative rather than just clips of raw footage. What would you do for a living if your hands just fell off one day? I would cry. I would cry for a living. If you could be anyone or anything, what would you be? If I had a choice, I think I'd rather be anyone rather than anything. How do pandas exist? Probably a mixture of genetics and evolution. Something like that. Why do you have to be such a potato? I don't know. Is this a good question? What do you think? What's the hardest thing to do stop motion wise? Most likely gravity defying stunts, just because you have to build rigs to hold puppets off the ground and then take those rigs out after in post-production. Just so it looks like they are in the air. May we see your second ever animation? If I can find it, and if it exists still, then sure.
Do you have any cranberries?
You Game Grumps fan, you. Are you going to any conventions this year? I'd like to, but unfortunately money and distance are against me in both fronts. I do have PAX East 2016 on my to-do list though. High five. Do you like Tim Burton stop-motion films? If so, what is the best in your mind and why? I think my favorite is probably Corpse Bride. Not sure why. Other than stop-motion animation, have you ever done any of the other types of animation that, like, drawn out? Good lord. Other than stop-motion animation, have you ever done any other types of animation like drawn out, computerized, etc.? A little bit. Cheesecake or waffles? It's the weirdest combination of things to compare. They're not even the same food type. Waffles. Has anyone ever told you that you sound like Chaotic? Where were you for Q&A number 2? What was your first Markiplier video, if you remember? I believe it was I'm Scared. Have you ever traveled to another country? And would you ever come to New Zealand? You have fans here. Holy crap. Thank you. And, well, I was born in another country, so technically, yes. I have no idea if I could come to New Zealand, though. That's far away. You should do more creepy animations. It's on my to-do list. Which of your stop motions did you make with a big meaning behind it, and which ones were just for fun? Here's a list of both of those categories. A lot of the ones on the left were for art school. That explains a lot.
When are you going to make another real video?
I know it takes a long time to animate these things, but Q&A should be spaced out with other content. Didn't you say you wanted to do gaming? Why not some of that? Okay, I know right now it's basically been Q&A after Q&A with just some like snippets of behind the scenes stuff. I have been working on the short film that was going to come out in July, but I have some kind of sucky news that I need to say. It's going to be postponed indefinitely. I underestimated how much time I would need for it. I find myself rushing to get it done, and I don't want that, because it'll just ruin it. So, in terms of other content, after this Q&A, I'll be going quiet for a bit, but I have a schedule in mind, and here it is. So once I get things up and running again, you'll know when things are coming. And I also want to do more things that involve all of you. Like, sort of a community thing. Sort of like these Q&As. I mean, these Q&As do involve all of you, but it's just your words and not like things you've made. Like, I'd like to show those off in something maybe. I don't know. Yeah. And also, since I'm sort of going quiet for a tiny bit, if you wanted to see other things from me, there's my random channel, Cranbersher, and then there's also But that's it for this Q&A and that update, I guess. Leave any more questions and possibly games you want me to play in the comments below, and I will answer and possibly play those in the future. Thank you for watching, and take care.